You ever stop and think, how on earth do scientists keep track of the millions and millions of species on our planet? I mean, it sounds like an absolutely impossible job, right? Just pure chaos. But believe it or not, there's this really elegant system for turning all of that biological mess into beautiful, organized order. So let's get into it and break down exactly how it works.
Okay, but before we can even start organizing life, we've got to answer a much more basic question. What is it? And yeah, that sounds super simple, but it's way trickier than you think. I mean, think about it. Is a virus alive? It can make copies of itself, but only if it hijacks another cell. Or what about a crystal? It can grow. So what's the real dividing line here? What truly separates the living from the non-living? What are the absolute non-negotiable rules for being alive?
And that's exactly why we need a clear set of rules. You could think of it like a checklist, a list of criteria that every single living thing has to meet. And lucky for us, we don't have to invent it. Biologists have already put one together.
All right, so here it is, the official checklist for life. First up, you have to be made of cells. You also need to use energy. We call that metabolism. You've got to grow and, of course, reproduce. You also have to respond to what's going on around you, react to stimuli. And this one is crucial. As a species, you have to be able to adapt and evolve over generations. And look, this isn't a pick and choose kind of deal. It's not about checking one or two boxes. To be considered alive, you got to check all of them.
Okay, let's zoom in on that energy part for a sec. Metabolism. It's really like this constant balancing act, two sides of the same coin. On one side, you've got anabolism. That's all about building stuff up. Think of a plant taking simple molecules and using sunlight, building them into complex sugars. Then, on the other side, you have catabolism. That's the opposite. It's all about breaking things down. Like when our bodies break down the food we eat to release energy. Every single living thing is doing this constant dance of building up and breaking down 24/7.
All right, so we've got our definition of what life is. Check. But that just opens up a whole new can of worms. We've identified millions of species, so how in the world do we name them all? And maybe even more important, how do we make sure that a scientist in Brazil and another one in Japan are talking about the exact same creature when they use a name?
And this is where common names just fall apart. I mean, they're a total mess. A starfish? Not a fish. A jellyfish? Also not a fish. Or a silverfish? Nope, that's an insect. And depending on where you are in the world, a single type of bird could have 10 different local names. It's just complete and utter confusion. We clearly needed a better way.
And the solution, which was seriously elegant, came from this amazing 18th century Swedish botanist, Carolus Linnaeus. He came up with a system he called binomial nomenclature. It's pretty straightforward. Bi means two, nomen means name. So a two-name system. The idea was simple but absolutely brilliant.